You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tatah. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.
After centuries of misguidance caused by slavery, colonization, lack of awareness of our history, and institutional disinformation, a new Africa is on the move, determined and getting organized. Afrika tuko pamoja. Welcome to the United Kingdoms of Great Africa. The United Kingdoms of Great Africa is the credo of the alliance movement of all African intelligences around a common ideal: the unity and development of a strong, conquering, and completely dedogmatized Africa through the channel of a strong organization called the Africa We Want Global. You are an African, Afro-descendant, researcher, historian, scientist, or simply an NGO. You want to be part of this great historical march towards the total freedom of an uninhibited Africa? Visit our website www.africawewantglobal.org. Register and discover the range of our platforms for change. AfricaWeWantGlobal.org. Join the kingdom, be part of it. An initiative of Dr. Susan Tatah.
So, wow, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, Africans from love at home and abroad. We have our brother here, Joseph Karanja, who has put up a very articulated position on why we Africans have everything that we need. We have everything, we need nothing else. There's one thing that we need is just the belief and the will to do it. And so we are so happy to have him here for the first time, even though he's a staunch Pan-African, being on our, let's just say on our neck from the beginning or the creation of the Pan-African Daily TV. How are you all doing out there? Brothers and sisters, we are into a very critical moment. I don't know why we just always being passive when things are happening around us. The situation in the Ukraine is not as easy as we think. It's not as silent. It's not in the hands of just some major concerns or systems. It's something to call for concern for everybody. So when we have a conversation like this on what we really need at this particular moment, the love from the continent and abroad, it is very critical that we start actually putting all these conversations into action. I want to thank all of you that are joining, all of you that are sharing, all of you that are commenting, the global Pan-African Daily TV family. And I also want to thank our interns and our volunteers that we're recruiting actually to be a part of this journey with us. So if you are interested to volunteer for the Pan-African Daily TV, if you are interested or you're searching for an internship position, in journalism, a passionate journalism, Pan-African journalism means we report the world from an African perspective and also report about ourselves from an African perspective. So be part of our team to join us. And I want to make it very clear, we are not employing people. When we send out the flyers, and we already having more than 200 in this group, I think some of the expectations of others that would sign, oh, we're looking for a job. We're not looking for a job. We're not employing on the Pan-African Daily TV. Let us be very clear. We're looking for passionate Africans that want to change and build the Africa that we want. Like myself, nobody's paying anybody to volunteer, to sacrifice, to build a nation. Volunteerism is a process in which you bring your contribution, your investment in terms of work. And so imagine we're going to build the biggest media on the continent. Who are the ones we're going to employ first? They're going to be our volunteers. So if you want to be a part of this beautiful, big story on the continent, something that has never happened, that is going to happen, and no one can stop it. So join us. Sign into our WhatsApp and say, I want to volunteer. On the continent, in the diaspora, worldwide, we are recruiting volunteers and internships. Okay. So I want to thank you. I think this is very clear. And I see even our brother Joseph sitting right here. He's also a volunteer. We've been volunteering in a lot of circumstances and issues. So welcome, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much, Queen Susan. It's a pleasure to be here, seated where you host amazing, amazing wise men and women and kings and queens. It's quite a pleasure to be here. I'm humbled and honored to be here. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Of course, this is the house of every African worldwide. There's no big, there's no small, there's no rich, there's no poor, there's no all knowing and not. We are one family. We are the same of equal birth. We come from one ancestor. So just like Joseph is saying, be aware of the fact that this is the voice of Africans worldwide, irrespective of your status, irrespective of your country of origin. Be you African, you are African, irrespective of even your beliefs and your status and your gender. Okay. We are here to build a one Africa for Africans worldwide. So do not be afraid and think that this is just a major platform for scholars and experts and those that know. No, we are building from scratch. And our volunteers are really the simple young people from 18 to 30 years. We want to put them right in front there on top where the sky can never be the limit. That's their position. So thank you so very much. I mean, I know we've exchanged views on your concept or your movement. Can you just tell us who you are, what your movement is all about, and what is it that we would be having this conversation on tonight?
Well, so as you can see, my names as I was given when I was born, according to the traditions of the people who received me. So that's the name they gave me, Joseph Karanja. So I'm coming from east side of Alekiblan, the east side of Africa, around Mount Kenya. So the traditions around this area, the naming traditions is that they name the children after their parents. You know, this is a common tradition in Africa. So my mom named me after her dad. So that's how I got the name exactly as it is, Joseph Karanja. And I like putting it clear that the acquired English name, because that is not indigenous to us, also came, you know, I would be Karanja without the English one. But now you know how the process of Christianization of Africa and all these religions and the foreign names. So my grandfather had a special gift of interpreting dreams or seeing visions that could manifest later in life. And somebody had read the Bible and he realized in the Bible there was a character by the name Joseph. And he was really surprised. So he went to my grandfather and he told him in the village, I read about someone in the Bible called Joseph, and he's just doing like you do. He's interpreting dreams. So that's how he got the name Joseph. And he just accepted it as his second name or baptism name. And that's what I took forward from him. So with that being said, maybe I can then jump to 1212, yeah?
Yes, 1212.
Okay. So 1212 started after George Floyd's death in 2020. It was an epiphany. You know, it was a download of a huge revelation, because I was really saddened at a situation where we were observing the world, like a police kneeling on someone who's begging to breathe. It was really heartbreaking. And I couldn't understand how long can that continue, because you realize the person receiving it and the person doing it, it's not a normal thing to watch. It took me to a very sad situation, very traumatized. It was really traumatizing. It's not to ignore everything else that had ever happened, even more worse than that has happened to Black people in the history of this planet. But this one hit differently. And then what made it worse is also the demonstrations of Black Lives Matter, and how people are just jumping to the streets like it's a trend and something like this. And I could feel like much of it is superficial, or it was somehow really heartbreaking. And I was wondering, is this really going to be the end of this? Are these demonstrations going to stop it? How many demonstrations have been made in this world in the same topic of racism and all this stuff, and this brutal police brutality and other forms of discrimination? Mm-hmm. So I was wondering, and just one time later, I had a moment. It was like a deep meditation. Although I was not already into meditation, it was a state of I was just calm, thinking about what can we do. You can say I was seeking in the divinity realm, because I was just, wondering, what can we do? And at this moment is when a number came to my mind. A number just showed in my mind, number 12. And I was like, number 12. So what do I do with number 12? Because that's what showed in my mind, a number 12. And then I was now wondering, what do I do with the number 12? Then an inspiration came about that let Africans group into 12 people and let them form galaxies. Let their friendships and their relationships be serious ones, meant to promoting each other and defending each other, such that they be each other's brothers and sisters keepers, and practice Ubuntu. So that was what I was receiving at this moment. And then I was like, oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. If people can form groups of 12 people and they practice Ubuntu and they support each other, then they are creating a defense system. Because you realize what Black people suffer in this world is not because our lives don't matter. People know life matter. Even you cannot just go cutting trees, even trees, even trees' lives matter, and everyone knows. Even animals, you don't just go killing pets. So we know life is precious, but why does it seem like Black people have to go to the streets to complain and say Black Lives Matter? It doesn't come across. So you realize it's because we don't have somewhere to report. No, we are known, like you don't have a defense system. No one is, it's like a kid who has no parent in the village, and some rude kids can just brutalize and just do anything to this kid, and the kid is known. You have no elder brothers or uncles or parents to report us to. So this is the situation of the African. It was really saddening. So this idea of forming galaxies and creating a network of solidarity, using this number 12, and then internetworking, to me sounded a really good idea when I received this inspiration. And what happened at the same moment is that a voice, or like another inspiration, told me, somehow inspired me to look up to the skies. And I looked up and I saw a group of pigeons that were flying. And as the same inspiration was telling me to count them. And I went ahead and counted them. And to my surprise, they were 12. So to me, it was now like a confirmation. you saw the number 12 in your mind, the explanation of Ubuntu happened, and then you see all this process. So for me, I took it very seriously. And then it was also another inspiration, like go ahead and spread that you have just received. Go ahead and spread it to Pan-African platforms. So I went ahead and grabbed my phone, and to my surprise, the time on my screen was 12:12 p.m. And another inspiration came again that says, set an alarm to remind you of this moment, and ask Africans or Black people, ask them to do the same as a covenant to each other in an action of solidarity. That was what I received at that moment. And I went ahead, I set that alarm immediately, 12:12 p.m., and I say Ubuntu. Whenever it rings, I'm always saying I am because we are, and I'm always affirming that since that day. And to my surprise, I came recently, I was looking which day it was, and it was on the 12th of October 2020. That was a huge coincidence of everything around the number 12. For me, it's overwhelming. And I never stopped. And since that day, every day I spread it everywhere.
This is amazing. And coincidentally, my date of birth is 12/12.
No, that's another thing, my sister. That's another thing. You know, I don't know. You know, there's something I have not yet told you, but I had tried to propose that we make 12 every 12th of December to be Ubuntu International Day. And I didn't know that that's your birthday. And it's crazy because you are really dedicated to this, you know, I don't know how even to put it. I don't know.
12/12.
And the funny thing about all this is that the first time I saw your number, I saved it Ubuntu TV. Let me show you. I don't know whether I have to show you. I saved your number Ubuntu TV. I mean, all this year, this is your number. I saved your Ubuntu. I don't know whether you can see. I don't know how to show everything to.
Yes.
You see? Can you see?
Bring it to
Ubuntu, Ubuntu TV. That's how I saved your number from the word go. And you know, this thing come following. And the reception when I share this thing out there is the reception is really positive. And at the same time, you realize some people will be opposing, some people are shocked, some people are not. The fear of the unknown, you know, and all that thing. So, all the same. What do? You just give the message as you received it. Whoever receives it, and my job is to give the messages. That's what I believe. And I see the positivity in it, and I'm practicing it. And I'm seeing the importance of creating those galaxies of people with common interest and establishing some group economics, you know, and having a vision of generational wealth creation such that we have to think about future generations. They don't have to run around this world looking for somewhere for greener pastures and running all around like orphans. It's sad. Yet we have so much resources in Africa. You know, we are royals. Yeah. We have everything we need.
We have everything we need. I mean, you're sitting there just like, I mean, how do I want to? Very handsome, very smart, and then visionary. Wow, Joseph, we are so proud of you. I look at you, I'm just like jealous. To be honest. You know, I mean, it's the spirit. It's a matter of something of the spirit. And when it meets the real vision in life, things really begin to happen. Like you said, 12/12 can never be a coincidence. Ubuntu can never be a coincidence. Why we are even arising right now. And if you look at the 12/12, is absolutely a time of change for every situation in life. When you take the next step in your life, it's a change, right? And so it's automatically that's period where we are in. I mean, to come back to a topic, I really want to share concerning the situation happening in the Ukraine and Africans in the Ukraine that have been racist and marginalized in this process of running for safety. I mean, we saw a very interesting report on BBC, even actually talking about that too much Africans that way. But it was just only because we had put an eye on it on the Pan African Daily and we reported on it, and we went millions were following that conversation. And you see, and so they grab that post. Today, we even received another very interesting message of a Cameroonian in Poland who had to hire a 50-seater bus out of his own pocket, right? Went to the Polish borders and took in 50 Africans, because there were 50 seaters that were blocked from entering into Poland. And so we're saying congratulations to any African anywhere on earth that is just sacrificing. Sacrifices is what I emphasize. Just sacrificing for this continent. Either you are helping in a situation like this, or you are bringing something, or you are sacrificing to say, we all have to do the job to build this continent. I really want to thank you. I thank that brother in Poland, and we say congratulations to him. Tonight, even, we also on the Pan-African Daily created a hotline to receive Africans fleeing away. And as we know, it is not even done on anybody that the biggest, largest nuclear plant has been bombed in Europe. It is not, we don't see that news. So we don't even know actually what is going to happen. Germans are already starting to say, maybe in the next coming days, we're not going to receive gas anymore. And so if the prices would triple, what we would do? How are we going to, but it's still just like nothing is happening until something really would happen. So people are evacuating. We are also putting out this hotline is the same line number like Pan-African Daily TV. And tonight we already have 5 that we rescued that are on their way to come to Germany, and we'll be hosting them, and we'll be opening up other possibilities for Africans that are running everywhere, particularly from the Ukraine, to actually come to Germany. Now we will be lobbying with the German government to see that they take care of our people just like they're taking care. Thousands of Ukrainians are flogging in here day and night, and they have a sanctuary and they have a center. But when Africans come, it is always another stuff. I'm just coming back to the situation you're saying, Joseph, about this issue of whether it is in the America, whether it is in Asia, everywhere on earth, the African is always the last. Do you think it's a coincidence, or you also think, yes, we might be marginalized, but thank God we are not a process where we kill people, where we murder people, so we don't have any blood on our hands? Over to you, Joseph.
Yeah, thank you. So first of all, I would commend everyone who is doing any outreach work out there. There's no amount of work which is small, even sending or sharing a post, because you realize at this time where we don't have, in a world where we are controlled by information or mainstream media, you realize our strength actually lies in our ability to communicate, actually. And when we are out there sharing posts at a personal level, that's our strength, because we don't have the mainstream media to broadcast our strategies or our information. So anyone out there who is broadcasting anything or sharing those, you said they came in the mainstream and covered the story after the Pan-African Daily TV was, putting an eye on it. That is something we cannot ignore today, the power of social media and the personal level broadcast. That is the most powerful thing we can do at this moment. Coming to the issue of Black people's situation globally, and coming last in a situation when it's a crisis, there's a crisis or anything, I would say we put ourselves in that situation in a way that we have refused to unite, We have refused to unite, and we have taken a comfort zone of blaming others all the time and crying and self-pity. It's really comfortable, you know. You don't have to do anything. You have to just be there and feel bad about it and complain. It's addictive. We have been addicted to that. We are addicted to that. And we are also traumatized because of the history and all this. It's the trauma and the comfort that comes with just complaining. So we have to address it, and we have to take responsibility at personal level. And most people ask the question that, what can I do at my position? I am not a politician. I'm not what. You don't have to be anything. Yeah. Like we just said here, you sharing the information is already something. My grandfather was sharing with me how they used to, do during the colonization war, and the freedom fighters. Even the small boys were running and informing people here and there, and they were playing a part when the freedom fighters were fighting the bushes, and women were doing what, and everyone has a role in this struggle. So wherever you are, just inform yourself. Even getting the information, being curious about your own story is also part of the war, because you realize the biggest part of all this situation is the misinformation and miseducation. We have been indoctrinated with things that you wonder, what are you telling me? You're telling me my ancestors are stupid, directly. You're insulting me directly, but you're just trying to use other words. When you come to my backyard and tell me that someone came from Europe and discovered the river where my grandparents were fetching water, what are you telling me? You are insulting me directly. So all this thing and all this stuff, and we were brought up in a way that you don't have to question anything, even when something is not making sense. Even when you're seated in a CRE class, someone is telling you something and you are like, that's not adding up, but you cannot ask, because you will go to the devil, you will be burnt. This kind of upbringing, they spoiled our brain, and they put a lot of fear. And so we have to educate ourselves. We have to take that. You have to be courageous, because you realize there's something called cognitive dissonance. So cognitive dissonance will not allow you to question the things you have been holding for so long. It's a pity, but you have to try, and you can feel bad about it. You have been fooled all your time. You have been holding at something so long, and maybe it's a time. When it's an awakening. It's an awakening. Start asking those questions that you feel like you shouldn't ask. Ask them. God will not punish you, because God is all loving, and God gave you the brain so that you can use it. Use it, and don't be afraid, because there's one thing they did to us. They make you afraid of using your brain. So you should just sit there and wait for rapture and wait for the end day, and you go to heaven and you just remain there. So this kind of bombarding with the information which is not, building you, instead of training us to be able to live in harmony with the nature, like we used to do in the past, live in harmony with nature, cultivate, dance and enjoy. After all, what else do you want to do in this world? Even this technology, what is it for? It is so that people can fetch for food and shelter and, communicate. So we used to do it without even creating all these distractions, without creating all those radiation and stuff like this. We could communicate with horns and drums and dances, our ways of communication and stuff like this. And when I listened to my grandfather telling me about the generations he found, they were really strong people. And when you look at the modern generation, people are weak. And you wonder, what kind of development is this we are talking about when people are growing weak?
That's so true. Go ahead.
So this is the kind of, then there's this other thing of buildings. Development is building stoned houses and stuff like this. Well and good, I have no problem with this. But what is the problem with the houses we used to live in from nature, in harmony with nature, without destroying anything, without creating? just build, and you live the time you are living, and you go, you come, you live in harmony with nature, and you go. What kind of, and then you have to now start forget that it is primitive. That thing of telling us we were primitive is also really not good, because if we were primitive, we would have died before you met us. But you met us alive and kicking, and you really took a lot of us to be slaves and to work. That means we were healthy and we were good. So you don't have to tell me we were primitive and we were dying, because we were good and healthy. That's why we worked and we still exist. So we have to ask these questions and be brave enough. Don't feel intimidated. And if you want to be happy, just first of all, you have to lose the fear of death. And you have to realize that after being born, the only thing that is guaranteed in this life is death. Nothing else is guaranteed. The rest is just by luck or whatever. But as far as you have been born, my dear, you will die. So be happy about it. Don't fear it. But don't commit suicide. Yeah, don't go looking for death. Die in a path that you died knowing I died. Like soldiers, they go and they die in the battle. They're proud of it. So why don't you stop fearing death and start questioning things and be proud that you are living to your full potential, and you are activating all your capacity. We have a very great machine in here. This machine in here is really, but we fear using it, because if we use it, then God will put us in hell. So that is the fear we have to lose. And we also have to lose the fear, the love of money, because if you love money so much, you will sell your brother, you will fear death. Your brother will be killed and you will not shield, you will not work together because you want to save your life. And you will sell him because you want some money, and you will even betray some people. So we have to forget the fear of death and forget the love of money and live our full potential.
Wow. When you're speaking, you remind me about President Kagame. Do you come from the same area? I mean, your articulation, physical, I mean, you beat him hands down. That's a fact. But your articulation, right? Your articulation, I don't know. Do you come from almost from the same area? Honestly speaking.
It's an interesting question, because actually when I was doing some business in Kenya, we had some Rwandese customers, and when they were speaking, I was like, am I hearing what you are saying? I was like, huh? You people, am I hearing? And I had to confirm, like, did this word mean this? And they were like, yes, this means that. And I can hear. And you're not Kenyans? And they told me, yeah, we are from Rwanda, but we are speaking Kinyarwanda. But of course, they are Bantus. Yeah? And you realize we are one. And this is one thing that has been hidden from us in history. They don't tell us we are one family. Because you when you are in a country in Kenya, close to in Africa somewhere, the education you are receiving is just putting you in a certain corner just there. But you realize we are one family. I wish we could know this when we are growing up, like from a nursery school. Children should grow knowing they are one across Africa. They are one big family. Even the unity that we are lacking today, and these people, whatever who is happening to us, is happening because we don't know we are one.
That's so true. That's so true. Can you imagine? So you see that feeling of just knowing that we are one big family, because it's the idea of a poverty mindset. When we talk of a poverty mindset, it is typically, I can say we can relate it to the European mindset. It's a poverty mindset. And that poverty mindset is a mindset that exclude you, make you feel you don't like limited family. So if you have limited family, it's just me, myself, my husband, and my two boys, and that's already enough. But that's poverty. That's a poverty mindset for you to have a small family of 4 or 5 or 6. And then that family is always going to be rotating about what I have is mine. like the children of the neighbors cannot even play together. No, it's my child, it's mine. And if you look at our own rich mindset of getting a whole global family, so you can see, like Dr. Tony J just said, 1.5 billion on the continent and 3 point something in the diaspora. So imagine a whole big family. So you can sit alone and like, oh, I have millions of my brothers and sisters. Is that not too much fulfillment and too much riches that you don't need to look for anything and just pipe up and reduce your scope of being into just you, yourself, and you, yourself again?
The forgetfulness of Ubuntu. We cutting off Ubuntu. That's what we are suffering as a world. Even the wars you are seeing in Ukraine. What is war? War is just you are fighting dominion because you don't see the other person as you. You see, you are seeing them and you are seeing that separation. This is what we are suffering in the world. That separation mindset, as you put it, that's what we are suffering.
Joseph, we shared a conversation, you and me, about, you told me a very interesting story. I would like you to share if you're the one of the doves, or the birds and their nest. And that's how we Africans and nature behave. I'd just like you to share that again. Quite interesting.
Yeah. It's actually part of the trail of 1212 because the beginning, the genesis of 1212. Now let's get back to the roots of it. Some birds came to the balcony, some pigeons, and they made a nest, and they laid 2 eggs, and they hatched. Actually, I just love how they were doing it. Actually, the female one was coming and lying on the eggs, and sometimes the male one was coming and lying on the eggs, and the female could go and have a break and come again. And it was quite an amazing experience to watch how birds are cooperating in parenting, and it was really amazing. So that one also blew my mind. I had only seen birds like chicken, and chicken, only the female was looking at the eggs, but the pigeons showed me that the father was the male one was coming and lying on the eggs, and the female was coming and they were exchanging. It was really amazing. So going to the point, so when they hatched the 2 eggs, unfortunately only one survived, and they flew, 3 of them. But on the day of departure, they stood on the balcony and they faced towards inside my house, and they were like seeking my attention. And I noticed them, and I paid attention, and I connected. It was like a hypnosis situation. We connected for like some minutes, like connection, 3 of them looking inside like this. They had spent quite some time here, and also the training, how they even trained the one that survived. They train, they feed and everything, and now it could fly and fly. And now I felt it's a time to say goodbye. So we connected, and they said there was now that telepathic communication, telepathy. You know telepathy, yeah?
Yes.
So it was that situation of a telepathic exchange. And at this moment is when I humbled myself, and I felt like they are asking a question. And I asked, when you fly out there, please don't forget the experience we've had here, because we really had some good experience since they made noise here, but they made noise, and I said, I will not chase them away because they are trying to look for somewhere to lay some eggs. I said, I will take it. Even the night they're making noise, so at this moment, as I'm trying, they stopped making noise, and it was now time to go. So I felt this connection, and I said, please, when you go there, tell the universe you met someone like me, and we had a good some good experience, and give me a message one day when my message out there is received, and show me a sign. So the day I saw the 12 pigeons, the flying, I remembered the situation with the 3 that went. So I connected and I said, this is the sign I had requested during that telepathic connection, you know? So I said, this is, now I remembered the three that went. So that it's good you ask about the nest, but the real question was about the nest. So when they went, later in life, some others came, and I let them make a nest there, and they also lay eggs, and they did their thing. And this time, these ones, when they laid the eggs, they flew and they left the children. The children did not leave. They just stayed around. They were just flying around, going and coming. So sometimes I swept and I removed the nest, and now there was no nest. But when these children matured, they also did the same thing. They fetched for sticks and they worked together and they created a nest together the same way their parents did. And no one taught them that. I didn't see them being taught how to do that. So the question is, how do they do what their parents were doing? It is because it's their nature. That's their nature. They don't need anyone to come and teach them. And even when you take that egg and you take it somewhere else, it will hatch and it will become that bird, and that chick will evolve to imitate the nature of its ancestors, its parents, or is for, you know. So it is the same. Then it makes me reflect on us, like human beings also, or like Africans, to say, we have also the information that our ancestors had when they survived since the beginning of time until today. They have survived all the crazy situations that have been there in this world. You can imagine you being alive today. It means you are an extension of people who have been here since the beginning. You can imagine what kind of a history is that you are carrying with your body. You yourself, there you are. You are an extension of so many, a lot of history. Yeah. So if those people were able to live in harmony with nature and with other world, I wish I could be living how I hear my grandfather explaining. Those people were strong, giants, tall, strong, and they lived very well. So how they used to live and feed themselves and cultivate and make their houses, however way they did it, this information is still in us. Although we have been schooled and trained, it's like a new program is being inserted in you. You have like a memory card which is being inserted with a new program to run you. That's why you see we are just running up and down and we have forgotten what we are, because the program that is now operating is not the ancient program that we used to operate in our ancestors, although it is still there. So they are in conflict. You see, they are in conflict. Who we are is still there because this information is there. It cannot be removed. It is a history that is there, and it is that our nature. So what we need is peace. So if the world would not come and crush us and force us to do other things and be what we are not, we could still be good and we could still be coping, because we had evolved and coped with everything that had been there ever since the start of evolution or creation or anything. So we have all that ability in us. We have it. We can tap into it in any time. And I believe it is in conflict with what we are doing. Because yes, the brain has been programmed, but the bigger part of us is who we are, is our nature. And that's why you find we are just confused. Anyone can take advantage of you because you are confused. You are confused. Come back to your senses. Wake up, know who you are, reactivate the real you. Stop running on that program. So that is our situation.
Wow. I mean, I'm I don't know whether you're feeling the same vibration that I feel here, because we keep talking about everything. I mean, today I reach out to to the house, to the main house of the continent, the African Union. I think for almost the 10th time, I could talk even to the closest person of the chair of the African Union, and I request audience, because we want to understand what their challenges are. And because it only dawned on me recently, just like what you're saying, that we're confused. I mean, so we have the same information that they have. What they are sitting there, we have the same information. But why should I always look at them as if they have to rescue me? Why should I look at them as if without them we will not survive? Why should we look at them as if, it is them that we don't have jobs? It is them that the politics is, like you are saying, how did we live? Let's just, now they will die. How are we going to operate? No system. Now the world is collapsing. Tony just said it's going to be run like a cancer. It's going to be run like a global something, what Russia wants to be. No power. So no power, no superpower. And who are we going to be asking or blaming? Do you think that what is it that we really need now, as you say, to take off the other software, or to be able to blend and bring out a combination? Take it out, take the jab out.
So even if you freeze a seed for so long, you put it in a freezer, you freeze it for so long, this seed, the time it will get out of that coldness and touch the conditions necessary for germination, it will germinate. It will not germinate to be a different seed plant. It will germinate to be the plant that it is. The information it carries as a seed, it will germinate to be that seed. Even if you forgot which plant it was, it will show you who I am. So it is the situation for Africans. We have been frozen for all this time, and we have been confused, yes. But a time has come now. The time has come, and now we have an environment. We can communicate freely, and this communication is what is awakening. It is awakening this vibration. It's not anything new that we are hearing, and that's why you hear when you have a show here, it makes you vibrate. Someone speaks and you're feeling it. You're feeling, because this information is being awakened in you. So the conditions necessary for germination are being available for the seed to germinate and become the plant it is. So at this moment, we are people of Ubuntu. We are not people of that separatism and individualism. That is freezing us. That is like being in coldness. We don't survive in those conditions. We thrive in Ubuntu. And now at this point, the world has been showing us that you are unwanted, you are black. And what they forget when they keep on telling us you are black, they forget we are melanated. It's okay. It's so. Sometimes I look at, why are you so desperate to tell me I'm black? You don't even want to appreciate that some people are black and others are chocolate and others are brown. You just want to tell us you are black. And this black is meant in a way that is meant to put you down, because the perception of black is not good. Let us not fool each other. The perception of black in the subconsciousness of the greater world is that black is negative or black is bad. So anytime someone is trying to tell you how black you are, even if they say Black Lives Matter, how can Black Lives matter if a black male does not matter? How can Black Lives matter if I do something at the same time when I do something wrong, it is a black thing, it is a black this and black that, which is unlawful? Then how do you want to blacken my life and fool me that it matters just because you are saying it? So the thing is, it's okay, you can say it. So what they forget is that we are melanated. You can try your best to just say black meaning negative, but now you are awakening the melanin, and melanin is information. Now the information is vibrating like this. Now it's now the time for us to gather like this, to look for each other, hold hands. And when we lose the fear of death and the love of money, now what else can you do to us? Kill us, all of us. You won't buy, you won't threaten us with, and we are not coming to attack you. We can only suffocate you with love. And this love will first of all be self-love. You see? So the conditions necessary for germination, for us to show the true colors, what plant we are, has now, it's like when winter is over and now spring is coming, and it's, you have no, you can, it's the way it is. That's now how it is. That's the situation.
I want to thank the brother that posted and say, congratulations, Pan-African Daily. I'm watching from Israel. Yes. And all of you watching from all across the world, we are really grateful. And grateful means the pieces, the particles, like you say, my brother, the part that were broken apart is gradually coming to form one. And each part, wherever they were broken and fallen, are waking up like the seed just spreading up in like that. How I really I'm speechless, because the way you put it, I see my sister Cheryl, my queen Cheryl, saying this is really the prophetic. This is it. This is the awakening, and we can feel it shaking. Brother, what is it that we need to do? Now, I want us to get it straight. The 1212 galaxy, because you already posted it to me and said, Dr. Susan Tatah, make sure the women in the communities, in the villages, form groups of 1212 and start weaving and creating anything. They have to be groups of 1212. Can you just explain it? Is it only about the women, or a mix, or, because it's the prophecy that we have to put it on the ground now. And I told you, yes, women are already doing that in the local villages. We've sent out, communications, but we never actually thought about the 1212 galaxy.
Wow. Sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is something I would advise we look into what is sacred geometry and see the structures and something like this. And pay attention to the number 12. Pay attention to this number. And it's not a coincidence that even 1 year is having a cycle of 12 months and stuff like this. I mean, 12, as we know 12 to be something that is having a lot of, organizational thing here and there. So, and if we want to organize, we can take a number and use it as a common practice, such that you, where you are, you have some identity. You're using number 12 as something, we have different languages, so many, but when you say number 12, or when you write 12, that number is 12 in any language. It is like that. Is it true? When I write 12 and I look at, no matter which language I speak, I will see that is 12. I show another person. So anyone will understand that number. It can be a code. It can be like, a language of numbers. So if you form a galaxy, a group of 12 people, this is a good number where people can cooperate. It's not too much and it's not too less. So 12 people can cooperate and they can be able to organize themselves. So if women in the village are able to come together as 12 of them, when we say women, we say a woman is a mother of the children. She is the teacher. She is the one who is feeding. She is the one actually controlling everything, but she is just humble to let the male ego feel like he is the one of everything. So when we say women, we mean the village, the home, the nation. So a woman is a symbol of that's why we even say Mother Earth. Why do we say Mother Earth? Because in this, even if we say Mother Earth, we are having, or even the males here. So when we say the women, let them form galaxies, this information, they come like this. When I typed that, I just typed it. It was just coming. Let women form like this and let us network. So if you have women in Ghana, 12 of them. If you have others in Kenya, if you have others in South Africa, in Mali, in Congo, they have something in common, a number. We are 12, and they appreciate it. They own it. We are 12. We are 12. And then look at a situation where these women can create their traditional stuff. They can inform themselves about Ubuntu and Pan-Africanism and create art, like something that has that motive. And imagine a situation where we are creating a market of exchange, cultural exchange, where these galaxies from Ghana, from Congo, from Togo, they can start, exchanging or even going around. They can even make their own 12 circles of going around, or they can call them whatever, just having a structure which can be traced, not just saying groups, because when you say groups, some will be 5, some will be 20. So then we lack.
Yes.
So when you 12, then that's something you can track and something you can look for and be 12. And when you are 12, you can start another one. You see? And then they connect, because at the end of the day, the purpose, they should not forget the purpose. Because if you forget the purpose when you are forming it, then you will not even achieve it. So the purpose is not self-enrichment. Although after creating your artwork, you may get something, because when we auction your artworks, you are going to get something. That's a goal, to have some livelihood. But don't go there with an intention of creating money, creating wealth or business. No, it's Ubuntu. You are coming together as 12 women. Those are 12 houses you have brought together. And that means the network of the children who are coming from those 12 homes, wherever they are in the world, they should know they are belonging to a certain galaxy, wherever they are. Now look at a situation where you are abroad, and a friend of yours is telling you, my mother is telling me she's in a galaxy of 12 women, and I am from Togo. And then another one is hearing, oh, I'm from Ghana, and my mother also told me the same thing. She is also in a certain galaxy. So these children, wherever they are spread abroad, they have that now sense of they belong. They have something, commonality that is being practiced back home by their mothers. And also them, if they go ahead and get the information of setting the solidarity alarm, what does it cost you? It doesn't cost you anything. Just setting it and having that acknowledgement. I have set it because my brothers and my sisters are setting it, because we have been alone in this world. If I call you today, Susan, and I ask you, let us go to the streets and demonstrate for Black Lives Matter, you will print a t-shirt, you will wear black, you will come to the streets, you will write everything, and we'll go and demonstrate. Now, I will not ask you that. I will ask you a simple thing. From where you are, can you set an alarm of solidarity? Just that. You can decide. Take that situation. If I call you to go to the streets, many will come. Is that true? Mm-hmm. Let's go to the streets and demonstrate. Now, imagine like it is the same, but now we change the tactic. Mm-hmm. We won't go to the street. Mm-hmm. We demonstrate in our hearts. Mm-hmm. Take, instead of wearing a t-shirt and carrying posters and banners, take your phone, set as an alarm, 12 p.m., let it ring every day. That is our demonstration. That is how we are demonstrating in our hearts. Let it remind you every day, wherever you are. You are in solidarity with your brother, with your sister, spread across the world. And if you can speak with your people back home, ask them whether they are able to form galaxies of 12 people. Don't force it, but plant seeds. Plant the seed of that idea of Ubuntu. It won't happen overnight, but it is gradual. It is gradual. It is gradual. Just speak about it and give it time, Even this speaking did not just start. It started a long time ago. You can imagine since Marcus Garvey and all this time, and we are here today. So even if it is after 1,000 years or whatever time it will be, we are doing it. We are doing our part to push the people who will come after us wearing this skin we are wearing. They will not have to beg this world, Black Lives Matter. No, we are not. We are not that. We are not that.
Wow. Whew. 12.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. When I remember and I say it's me, then yes. Thank you. When you shared this with me a lot. It's so deep. And actually we took that concept. Today we've had 3 sessions together on the groups that we're building for correspondence in on the Pan-African Daily. And thank God, Joseph, you had shared this with me my last birthday, and you shared the clock and you shared everything. And so we're also putting those correspondent 12 in every country in the diaspora and on the continent. So you are watching us today saying that our alarm clock of Ubuntu is 12. And all of us will have to get that alarm clock. Karanja, can you show a picture of it? Because I tried to load the image, but it was like, I'm still going to share it because that's what we're going to really reproduce, that we have our alarm clock. And I want to just explain it a little bit to those, like in the diaspora, sometimes when we speak our African English, we're not English people, sorry. Some even say UK English, and some even say American. Or can you imagine the foreign language even having two variations? But of course, what we mean with the alarm clock of this concept is when you tune it at 12, it just reminds you that we are one. It's a symbol. It's a vibration that has to go. Each time you put it on, it rings. It reminds you we are one. So we don't need to say carry flags and go and say, and then we go back and nothing happens. So it's a solidarity. It's the Ubuntu clock that is going to be coming up. And yes, all of us would have to own it. I remember our brother Marvin, Elder Marvin Gaye, now he's still trying to put some things together, the $1 One Africa project. Our elder, our mentor, our advisor on the Pan-African Daily, he said this exactly, but he didn't put it in the form of a clock. He put it in the form of a gong, and he has said it from the first week George Floyd died. He said all Africans must own a gong, and at 12 we have to sound that gong, whether we are at work or we are at any place. And that gong is going to vibrate and connect us and remind us that we are one. So if I'm sounding my gong, then my gong, a gong like a bell. So I just know I'm awakening all the others. Now you're bringing it again in the form of a clock. It cannot be different. The number 12 cannot be different. It cannot even be different that I am 12. Wow. So yes,
it took me by surprise. I was like, wow. Really? You mean Susan's birthday is 12th of December? And I was like, really?
Go. 12 go.
No. Wow.
This is a plan. Yes, this is an action
plan. Something I just read before we came to the show, I realized Marcus Garvey was a timekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now he is the father of Pan-Africanism, and he was a timekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you see? Now we are talking about time, 12 p.m. And he was a timekeeper in a plantation, in a banana plantation in Costa Rica, something like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was the one keeping the time.
Yeah, he was a time. I just read it. I didn't even know. I just read it when I was waiting for you to tell me what was the time when I just saw Marcus Garvey was a timekeeper. And I saw his vision. It was written there. He hoped that, may I read? He hoped that the future generations will pick up his vision. He will pick up his dream, something like that. Oh, my God.
It's so incredible. I mean, we are so grateful for this prophet and this messenger that we have here. We know that there's no coincidence anyone that is brought or comes freely, and like we are doing on the Pan African Daily, whether they are viewers, whether they are sharers, is part of the plan of the Creator. All of us that are coming, in whatever format that we come, whether you're just commenting, you're just chatting here, you're just sharing your experience, just know you are a visionary. You're here for this purpose. You're here to form this one that we're talking about. So it is a big opportunity, and that we're saying thank you to our ancestors, to the Creator. Every morning, I keep saying it, please, my brothers and sisters, drink water. Put water and just thank your ancestors that we are doing what we have to do now, that we are the chosen one, the firstborn. Now you see, justice is now my art. It's exhibiting everywhere. And thank God, like I said in the beginning, we never touched that blood. We never sold any people. We never murdered any people. We never invaded any countries. Nothing did we do. So our hands are clean. We are even the ones that have suffered and everything. But this is the time of Ma'at, justice. Look around you. You can smell it. You don't need to get yourself even involved in that process. Don't be a part. Just shift as we've always done. It is the time of justice, truth, every hidden thing, all lies, all the evil that has been melted upon who, it is the time now. It's gone and gone and gone and gone, and we are here. So we are very grateful for you, Prophet. We're so grateful for you, our King, even coming to remind us about that role of the woman, about the essence of the queens. And I saw somebody wrote here and said, you look at even in Rwanda, in Kagame's parliament, any nation that puts its woman, that respects its mother, is a nation that thrives. And we looking at our own. We even talked about it on the Pan-African. We are building these groups, and we are building even the executives and everything. And we're putting the women on board. We know that our kings are there. They support us. They giving us the energy and everything. But we just want to put this Mother Africa. So all our correspondents in the groups will have country representatives as we already having them. They can be men or anything, and they going to form these groups of 12. But a sense of mother, of building the nation again. That is maybe what we never did, or what we left, or what we forgot, or what we were taught to do. So I really want to thank you, brother. I thank you so much. Now, what is it again that you want us to know tonight? I'm just so excited. The session is so.
Thank you very much. I adore you. Your energy, your passion. You come here every day, and how you host. I don't know. You have to establish a Susan Tatah Institute across Africa, because you have also really acquired a lot of knowledge through the hosting here. You are now a treasure of Africa, I don't know how. We need something going 24 hours, you explaining everything, or you with your shows everywhere. Do you have like an online stream or audio all the time? You can tune in and listen to Dr. Susan. But anyway, we can use YouTube, yeah? We can find your... And you told me to share the clock. I tried to share the screen here.
Yes. Let me see if I can get the technical help you. Dr. Susan Tatah University. Sign over rightly. Sister, he wants to share his screen. Can you help him? Want to see the clock? 12 clock. Was soll er machen? Okay. All right. Joseph, can you show it on your stuff? I will share it. I will share it because this is not the last conversation. We're going to get you next week again on our way forward and how we want to start implementing the 12-12 and the groups of the Pan-African Daily or whatever, the Susan Tatah University, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not about the name. It's just about the vision and the spirit. Please, I'm so sorry. So yes, we can establish that. Is it possible that we'll have you same time next week so that we develop even the plan of the clock, the manufacturing of the clock, how we want them to be produced at home by our local materials? How do we function with it?
Well, we can just do the simplest, which is just use your phone, because we have phones. Actually, mine rings on my phone. You can just set the alarm on the phone. This was uh, to what, to do, just do like reinforcement,
Yes.
symbolic. This was really symbolic. I have it here. I have the African drum here. I just get into the thing, and you know what, this is working on your subconscious mind. When you have all these things surrounding you and you are doing this thing, you are getting yourself to evolve, to become the thing, that thing you admire. So, and even this alarm, it has a very deep psychological effect to the people when they set it. First of all, it gives you that sense of belonging to the others who have set it. And through repetition, because even our brains were damaged through repetition. We were made to repeat some things that were not making sense. You are repeating until there's nothing else you know apart from that. So why don't we use the same technique to reprogram ourselves to become what we wish we are, what we desire? Set that alarm, let it ring every day, let it ring in your head. Now it is working on your subconscious mind until a time is coming where you don't know anything else. You only know Ubuntu, and no one can tell you anything else.
Okay, I have a question here. Please just look at it, Cheryl, and all of you. Look at it. Look at this question. You have to answer it now because that's what we need. Joseph.
I would. We can see how that can go. You know, I love how you do it. You can train me if it's possible. We can check what is possible. I mean,
I have to.
we are talking about volunteering here.
Yes, but you see, I didn't say it because if I would have said it, Joseph, me and you, we talk on daily basis or most often. But that is a question. I don't even know who this brother or sister or this family member is from, where he's even watching. But he just said, now we should consider making you a co-host. I mean, just say yes, I want to do it, and the rest will follow. 12, 12.
I mean, we can see what is possible. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
passionate. Yeah.
We are passionate. Yes, for sure. Thank you so much. Good. Brothers and sisters in the house are greeting you from all across. They are so grateful to have you. And yeah, Johnny Boy said, Karanja, we really appreciate your knowledge that you have shared with us here, and you have to come back. So I will make you a co-host. I already promised my women and our team we're meeting after this conversation, and for certain it is done. It is not us, it's the mission of the creator, it's the voice of the universe. And any of you that is also watching, all of us have this talent to communicate and to do anything, or to say we are looking for co-hosts. We've been saying it. Pan-African Daily can be 12 20 24/7 live if we have different a host. And so let's say Karanja's program is just going to be a 12/12. That thing he brings on it is a 12/12. So it's still me that he's going to be talking about, right? So if you are there, you have a talent, a story. It's 1 hour. I would give you the instrument. I would teach you if you want me to teach you. I would direct you from your comfort zone where you're sitting, even from your phone, okay? And you will host your program. Whether it's just telling us a story, anything that it goes to unite us, that it reminds us, even how you grew up, whether you're cooking something or you're doing anything, right? Anything to grow Africa, we have space for you. Go ahead. Karanja, we are here. We're not. It's as if today is gonna be a 2 hour show. Really, I mean, we had been reducing it because we have our women's meeting, the executive coming up. But we are all here. All of them are in the chat. So when we finish, then we'll hold our meeting in peace. So go ahead. What is it again? For instance, my issue is spreading this accordingly in the diaspora. You said we should consider making 12/12 an Ubuntu Day.
By the way, if that is possible, can you imagine if we have a day that is, resonating with the daily practice, that we just make everything crazy about this and create a new experience, a new reality for ourselves. Yeah, we make something that is, we turn the life we are living here and observing everything. We create a reality that we want, that we deserve, that,
Take a look at that. this is not funny anymore. This is just not funny. Obama is saying there are 12 letters in your name, Dr. Susan Tatah. And I never ever. This is another sign again. Wow. What other thing are we going to do this again? This is your platform also, brother. Wow. I never thought about that one for no reason. For no
been on the screen all this time, yeah, telling us 12 is the formula, 12 is a code.
Yes. So I think all of you just search for anything. You definitely would have a code in you. If that's the code that the creator gave to our brother in the mission that he's carrying, then surely all of us would have that code in the family, in anything, in the names, whatever. Just pay attention now to the letter 12 or to the number 12 and begin to relate with it. But it should have a meaning, like we're saying, it's Ubuntu. So it means it's our DNA code. It is the code that unites all of us to one. It's 12. Even if you don't see it in anything that appears, but put it today, it is the code that reminds of who we are and that we are one. Sandra Edwards is saying this is so beautiful. And I think exactly, brother, you have broken that spell tonight. Because we always said we have code, we have the melanated. You said something is not really about black, it's about the melanated. Just say it again, even if you have to repeat it.
No, I mean, it was someday here I was like, why is the world so desperate to tell us you are black? And it's a good thing to be black, because when you look at the color, which is really loved so much, even everyone, you see people are putting black there, people are wearing black in everything. But when it comes to calling other people black, they don't mean it in a lovely way. They don't. So I was wondering, why are they so desperate to calling you black? They feel good telling you're black. So they don't know. Now they are awakening the melanin. You can say black, but what you are doing is that you are reminding us the melanin is hearing and it is vibrating. It is waking up. Yeah. Now it is too late. Anyway, they have been used also to do that. We are not hating anyone. That's not our nature. Our nature is Ubuntu.
Absolutely. Like you say, oh, you see, but this is crazy. It makes me to think, because if we look at the color that is most consumed, particularly in the Caucasians, Germans number one is black. The only thing they wear is black. There are other cultures that even used to challenge Germans and say Germans don't know anything, or they don't know how to dress. Their dress code is black. Okay, but the fact that we saw it, that it was like an abuse, could it also have been that it was because actually they realized this is the universe color, or the creator color, or the first color? Why is it that when people transit, like we say, it's a burial, it should be so? As a matter of fact, when people die and we go to the grave, or we are mourning and we wear black, it is not a negative thing. It is celebrating position. So why should it be looked at as if it's black? We begin to think.
this black thing, if you pay attention to black, it is just the perception. People, they define it in a perception way to make you feel bad when you are labeled black. But in the real sense, black is the best thing you can. This is the best color. Look around. Always pay attention in the cities. There is no any other color you will see being everywhere apart from black. It is everywhere. It is in everything. So it is only when it comes to calling you black is it trying to make it like, it's funny like how children would play with each other and they try to make you feel bad about something that is so beautiful that you possess, but they want to try to make you feel to laugh at you. Like they are laughing like it's, but in the real sense they are jealous. That children's game. So people should not feel bad about being black. Although anyone will be trying to make you like, it is just that childish laugh, which means like, yeah, and it's good, but I'm trying to make you feel bad about it. Someone says here, all colors come from black. Yeah, I read somewhere that black is the essence of all colors. So, yeah, so just know the melanin is waking up, is vibrating like this, and now walk in pride. Walk in pride. Until one day people will start, I wish they will go in the street saying, I wish I was black. I wish I was black. I wish I was black. Yes.
I love this. They're gonna be singing that, but they do when they go for bronzing and they go for everything. It's they're looking for it. Anyone's that want it, they're looking for it. But it comes really coincidentally. I had a brother of mine who visited me in studio here last time, and he said it. He said white. If you look at white, the color white is blank. There's nothing in it. It's just emptiness. And it is not a coincidence that all the houses, particularly here in the West, are painted black, because it blinds your third eye. It is nothing. There's nothing that you just see white. White is just white. So all the paintings and everything that we see now, it is even the dumbest thing that we do white parties, white weddings. It's nothing. It's empty. It's just nothing. And he told me, Dr. Susan, just put black and watch for some time. Just be watching it. You see, it is something. It is something. When you wipe it, even you wipe it, then you see white. So when you see white, white is emptiness. So I like the conversation, and I would like to get that brother here. I mean, we're not saying that it's the color of the skin. There's no color of the skin that is white. Am I right? There's no white color.
Yeah. I've not seen a person who looks like this shirt. So
Exactly.
I even have problems when I'm not able to call people white because it's not the real meaning. What are you telling? Because do you look like this? No. Who is? So what are we talking about? I don't understand. So that colorism actually is a trick. This usage of color is a trick. It's a trick. We should stop using those colors. It's a real trick. You cannot use the same color that you demonize and use it to call people, unless you stop demonizing. Actually, we should be ambassadors of the color black. We should say from today onwards, meaning bad things should mean red.
Yes.
Stop me saying black. Don't misuse that color anymore. You are abusing this color. It's a royalty color.
Yes. Thank you. Because sometimes we feel guilty, because of our brains that have been, even when we see our other brothers, like the Caucasians, and then we say they are white. They're not white. There's nothing like a white man. There's no white person. And so, so it's fake. I like the way you said, maybe we should just start saying red.
Actually, we should take it very seriously if we are on a really dedicated mission of emancipation. The color black should never be used in a sentence meaning negative.
Yes.
Black male. What is black about it? Say red male. If you mean it is dangerous or it is bad, say red male.
Or black market.
black market, and then you call me Black Lives Matter. Come on, who you are fooling me? Who is that? Is the same. You are the production of those speeches is in the same studio, so you are just trying to pay me some lip service. Come on, I see through you. Don't do that. Yeah? You can't be doing that. That's the same tongue that say you are blackmailing me, and then you tell me the next minute Black Lives Matter. It cannot matter. You are just trying to fool me.
To be honest with you, I can listen to you. I think all of us. He speaks like Paul Kagame. Please listen to Paul Kagame's speeches. The articulation, the every. Honest with you, that's why I'm just laughing because I listen to a lot of his speeches. I watch him a lot when he's speaking. When he was bashing the European news reporters, you could see that action of like and even fun the way you put it, like, oh, please don't say that. This is it's so unique. It's so unique. Yes, it's so unique. We are all gifted. We are all one, and the common thing that we're saying here is we have never hated. And if we really look back into history, when the history of all the Homo sapiens, all the human, the 4-foot people, the 2-foot people, sorry, because we have the 4-leg, the dogs and the other animals, but when they discovered that they were the 2-foot people, it's us. So, and it never was about a color. It never was about, and so I used to tell my Caucasians or the Germans, I say, you are our African in another skin, because we all came from there, whether you like it or not. That's the fact. So, but thank God, if they don't want to belong, what are we going to do about that? We're going to enjoy too much space. Brother, go ahead.
You cannot force them, and we can sympathize because they're also victims. They're also victims of indoctrinations. As we suffer an indoctrination of self-defeat and self-sabotage, they are also going through indoctrination of superiority. And that's what they are suffering. It's not a decision that they wake up one day and decide to be that way. It is a long life programming. And as we said, we are also carrying the information of our ancestors and whatever they went through evolution. Even them, they are carrying that something. So we can empathize with them and realize it's just something that they have also to work with and deliberately, but the system does not want them to work on it. The system wants to continue feeding them superiority, and it is done in a very wise way. So when you find German students or European students paying monthly some contributions to some charity in Africa, that is the way they are conditioned, that they are the one helping the world in a very hidden way, in a very, very secretive way. So they are also victims and they don't realize it. Sometimes they are doing it out of goodwill. And they also maybe the environment, the people they have been, and the exposure and all this. So it is going to be a process, and we have to accept all of us from all sides and do our efforts.
I share. It is, yes, it is. It is a burden. Yeah. You can imagine it is a burden to be privileged or to feel I am a supreme race or I'm a supreme being upon others. It is even a curse to put on their children and their generation. And these children, I know them. I know them so well. I've been a mother to all of them. I've been foster mothers to them in my home. And I feel when they're with us. And I know how they feel, the shame and the burden of feeling that, they are this. And sometimes you see it in the way they articulate. If they want to call us, if they've been in their houses and their parents are teaching them some kind of words when they watch. So when they meet us and they ask, is it normal if I say nigger? It is, to be honest with you, in the beginning, I also thought the same. But at the end, I looked at all of them like children and ignorance. And so then I begin the aspect of teaching and say, no, this is because of this. So it is a process, like you say, they are programmed exactly the way we are programmed. And it is a burden it is a curse for them. Even when we look at it and we think that it's an admiration, how many of them, when they discover this thing, they take their lives away. I work just with them. When I say work with them, I don't work for them. I cater for all of them. All my children, I can say, mother of all colors. If you look at my festivals, the title of festivals here is not black, not white, but colored, because I don't see color, as a matter of fact. And you can see how a lot of them, when they come to the Africa festivals, brothers and sisters, this is a fact. Let's forget about whatever we say. You can see how they are coming because of too much ignorance, and they want to see us teach them, show them the way. Most of them that I know, the ones that come to my festival, the 20,000s and this, are coming because they want us to teach them. But you know what? Because we also have been programmed like them, we start acting like them. So instead of us teaching them our indigenous culture, we want to do like them. Like we want to dress coat, suit, whatever. It's not about the look, but we begin to behave like them. How do we solve that, Brother Karanja?
We start by accepting. We start by accepting, and just look within and listen to within. What is the voice within saying? There's that voice that is saying something. Before it's overtaken by the ego that have been produced by the society and the programming through everything. There's that. And maybe we can try to spend more time with children and observe them, whether they are also hating this and that. You'll see they are loving. They are loving until it reaches a certain age. Now they have been taught, they have been shown this and that. Then they start some things, and you can see how when it starts. Then you wonder, why did this child now start changing? Now they are understanding things, but the programming was starting long time. This can be a discussion for another day through
Yes.
speaking about also the movies and maybe the cartoons and stuff like this. Maybe today we can say we have done a good job.
We really have done a good job. Thank you so much. Thank you, our brother. And yes, like you said, we're going to hold this conversation. Why are children loving? And then they get up to a certain age. Children don't see color, they don't hate. But then we teach them and program them. And when they get to that age, they become something else. They start seeing the world the way we want them to see it. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank you for your support. And please remember us, our women and our mothers of Pan-African Daily and the Girls. We're holding a meeting after this, and to start with the recruitment of 1212. And our kings, we do respect to you. We owe you all our pledges to say we will do our best, all of us together as a collective, one gender, like in ancient Africa, to do our best to sacrifice all how we can to build ourselves, to heal ourselves and the world. So thank you, brother. Are we meeting here at the same time next week, or should we talk after the,
We can talk and see what we can plan offline when we are not on the show.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you so very much. And we are happy to have you and like a co-host from today and the future. Thank you so much.
Those are big shoes, my sister.
Thank you. Asante sana.
Karibu sana.
Yeah, karibu sana. Good. And yeah. It's been a day off, and I want to thank all of you, but also in the name of all of us that are watching, to be honest with you, I want to thank the community of Romania, the country called Romania. In the struggle of relocating and evacuating our people in the Ukraine, Romania, a small country, you can read about it, opened its doors to take Africans that were being rejected from other countries. I would do a particular show, or we women were going to draft really a letter of thanks to send to their country, to their leader, to thank them and to congratulate them for that. It is very simple. We have to learn to give thanks. And it's not because we are weak, but it's because we're strong. We have to thank them. We have to draft a letter to thank them that they're doing good, that they're learning, that they should do even more. So anybody that is going to open its doors for an African or for people running because of situations, just know that you received God. You received God. And that thing that comes to you at that time is a big, big blessing. I'm receiving my 5 first African girls coming in tomorrow. They are on the train. We did everything and they'll be arriving here. I'll do pictures when I pick them up. And they're going to be our first evacuation, and we'll start working with them to follow up with the rest. Okay. So we're not only going to take just our own, even the ones that are running, we don't really know, but everyone cares for his own now. We're calling ourselves by our name. So please open up your doors for those that need help. It's not only from war. Make sure you always have water. That's what my mother taught me. And don't finish your food. Somebody might knock at 12 when they are hungry. Give them water, give them food, give them bread. Just welcome them in. I know times are hard, it's bad. People always say, be careful not to open your doors even to a devil. No. If they come to you, it's a blessing. It's because we've been taught to fear one another. But watch yourself. If the spirit doesn't tell you, the right ones that come, you will know. So open up your hearts that are looking for husbands. Open up your heart. Men that are looking for women. Don't discriminate. There is a woman for every man in the world. But sometimes you make choices. Oh, I don't want this one. Oh, I don't want this one. This one is not my type. It's not my this. Same thing with us girls. I'm talking to the young girls that are still looking forward to marry anyway. Open up your door. There's a man for every woman on earth. That proportion that they keep lying to you, because this, I'm preparing this for another topic, right? Lying to you, oh, you know, there's so many women, and that's why this. No, the problem is the choice. We choose. No, it has to be rich, has to be tall, has to be handsome, has to be this. No, it's not my taste. It's not a mixed salad. You know, it's not my taste. No, it is the heart, the voice in the heart. You can pick any broken soul. You can pick any. It's a human, and you can transform it to your queen, to your king, to your everything you want. It all depends on you. So as we open our doors, we open our heart to receive the biggest one Africa family that is happening to us right now. So I want to thank you so much. Be aware and keep your eyes open who is going to be a guest tomorrow. I don't have any plan. If you are watching me and you say, oh, I can spring in, I can jump in, I have something that we can share and spiritually connect, particular topics like this that has nothing to do with economy and politics and fighting and guns and bullets, and there's something that just, you know, moves us and builds us. And you see all of us smiling and sparkling, right? So good night to all of us. We will see ourselves again tomorrow. And wish us good luck, our girls, our mothers that we're meeting tonight. Wish us, because we're going to present everything to you on the 8th of March, which people call is the International Day of the Women. And they begin to talk about some empowerment agendas. No, we just do it. We're not going to sit and talk about it. We just present what we have for you as Mother of the Nations and ask for you to support us in your prayers. So good night. We see ourselves again tomorrow. I love you all so much. My heart is open to all of you. My doors are open to all of you. You all know it, this door here. And we see ourselves again tomorrow. 12:12. Don't forget Ubuntu. Set the clock. Solidarity clock all the time. Bye-bye. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tatah. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.